Start recording. Yep, screen sharing. Pause recording, great stuff. All right. Now, I'm going to let people in. Seven people waiting. Oh, right, admit all. All right, welcome to everybody. Thanks for joining us today for our Healing Rooms Wellness webinar, the Vivo Wellness webinar. It's the first time we've done it. We've been off for the autumn season since the whole of the COVID lockdown period kicked in. And then we had the summer break after the lockdown. And then we did promise that we'll come back during the summer, but we were so inundated with incoming clients, we weren't able to fill that. We were able to do a couple of sessions, but not as many as we actually had liked to, or we had actually planned to do. I'm just going to download my presentation on my system.
No. Come on, sit. Sit.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
I can
fantastic.
hear you.
Fabulous. Thanks very much, Norma. You always join nice and early. We want to make sure everyone's.
How did you know I was me? I might not have been me.
Really? You're always the first one, and I love your enthusiasm. You're a sponge of knowledge. You always sponge up as much knowledge as you can get whenever you are able. I like that. That's a good way.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Did you say? Okay.
Go ahead.
No. Did you say you did home visits for people?
We do have a small team of what we call paranutrics. Your conventional paramedics, but we have paranutrics who are nutritional therapists.
Yeah. Do they do the scanning and thing?
Yeah, they have their ability to bring.
And what's the cost to arrange that?
Say again?
What's the cost for doing that?
It's an additional £50 on top of the normal 120. So
120 but 50.
Okay. That's if you're in London.
Yeah. South London.
25, it's 85.
No, it's London, South London.
Okay, that's
no, I'm just asking. I'm just trying to check out. So 125 and 50. So roughly £200.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Okay.
If you're in Croydon, if you're South London.
No, it's not me. I'm not yet.
Okay.
Anyway, it might be coming, but it hasn't got me yet.
Okay. And we only use them in emergencies if the person is really incapacitated and can't move.
This is someone who can't come out of the house and been housebound for the last 6 months.
Okay. In that
I
case,
thought I'd explore and ask.
Yes,
if,
absolutely.
You do that. Okay.
Yeah, we do. In that case, then we do.
Okay. Thanks.
No problem at all. All right, let's jump right in. I'm trying to multitask here, so do apologize if I get a little bit split.
Oh, not at all. You're special. It's okay.
I've got about 5 screens open at the same time. I don't know why I set the settings to everyone to go into the waiting room before they come in. I didn't have to adjust it to get it to automatically enter.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So today, welcome once again to Wellness Webinar. It's the Vivo Wellness Webinar where we
work stuff happening at the same time.
With information and knowledge. I'm sorry. Please mute yourselves. Just mute yourselves. Where we aim to empower you with information and knowledge that's going to really help to improve your health. The object of the wellness webinars is to really give you more knowledge and more information and the tools to equip you with what you need for the months and years ahead. We're entering into a very serious time where we might say unprecedented time, where our health now has to become a serious priority, because there's a lot of things that are working against our health, and it's only going to be based on the level of knowledge that you have and the available tools that's going to enable you to survive and to navigate yourself through this period successfully. So our aim is to really empower you with as much knowledge as we can impart, and really lift up your health knowledge, because your health can only be as good as the knowledge of health that you have. Your health can never exceed the knowledge of health you have. So we're really here as conduits to really impart that knowledge, to make sure you have all the tools to do what you need to do and to share with your family. My name is Aaron Warden. I'm a nutritional founder of Vivo Nutrients. I'm a natural health researcher, philanthropist, a social entrepreneur, is a businessman with a social conscience, manufacturer of natural health products. And in fact, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try and do the intro. We'll do the quick intro because I want you to do this to make it easier for those who don't know me. I'm gonna share you. Everyone can see the screen? You can see my screen. Yeah, just nod if you can. Just nod. David, can you see my screen? Wow, you look young, David, man. What's happening? You look young. Look at this youthful new David. I don't know if it's because
I'm trying. So can you see me, yeah?
I can see you. Yeah, you look like, I'm thinking, is that his son? Is that your son? But he's got your...
No, it's me, man. It's me.
Keep up with it. It's working. Okay, admit.
I can see you now.
You see me, fantastic. All right, so what I'm going to quickly do my intro, so make it easier for all to get a clear picture of who we are and what we do, who I am and what I'm about. Okay, let me get that on. Where did it go? It's just gone. All right. Oh, where's it gone? There we go. Right. Can you hear it? Can you hear it, David?
I can hear you. I can't hear anything else.
Oh, no. Okay. Can you see the screen moving?
I can see you. I can't see any other screen.
Okay.
It's the same thing for me.
You can't see anything? Okay. Let me go back to this new share. All right, let me share that one. Tell me what you can see on the screen now.
I can still see. I can see someone else.
You can see somebody else?
Yeah.
Can't see what you're sharing in any case. We can't
You see
Oh,
images moving?
sharing, yeah?
Yes?
No, we see you. We see everyone that's speaking. You're not sharing your screen, actually.
I'm not sharing my screen.
No,
Well,
no.
I just have a black screen sharing screen, which has been on since you came online.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a black screen. Yeah,
Right,
down in the bottom corner.
Let me stop share.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now I can see myself.
You can see yourself? Okay.
It shows the speaker.
You can see me now as well?
Yeah.
I can see myself in the little screen, and I can see you also.
Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and go back to share screen. I'll just tell me if you can see my screen so I can get my slides up. Where are you? Bear with me 1 second. Always the way when you want to get a nice, good old smooth presentation, we're going to get these little bumps in the road, but it's okay.
You probably need to open the folder before you click share. Then click on the file you want to do. You want to open the folder you want to share, then click share, and then click on the folder for the file you want to show.
Okay.
Presume.
Thank you. Let me try that again. All right, because the folder's there.
Yeah.
Get rid of that one. I'm going to get rid of all the stuff I'm not going to share. I'll get rid of that one.
And the importance is actually clicking on the right folder that you actually want to share, even if the others are open. Yeah.
Okay. So now let me go back into Zoom. Okay, now I'll go back to screen, share screen.
Yeah. Click on the folder you want, on the file you want to show.
Show all windows. Here we go. I found it, right. I'm gonna click on that one and then click on share. Can you see the screen?
No.
No.
Give it a second, it's loading up. Can you see it now?
Oh, yes,
It's
it's going to come. It's going to come. It's going to come.
it's gonna come. It says that you're
It's
sharing
coming.
the screen.
It's going to come. There you go.
It's coming. It's saying share.
There you go. No.
Still not there?
Yep.
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 We got it?
Yep. No, we've got it now.
Yeah. I can. Yeah.
Yep.
Great.
It's there, Aaron.
It's there? Fantastic. Praise the Lord.
We're all good.
Okay, bingo. Thank you for your persistence and your patience. Alrighty, so let's put it on so it's
I'm going to mute. If you can make it bigger, that would be good. Yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna make it as large as we can. I'm gonna put it on slideshow. Okay, is that bigger?
No.
What can you see?
It looks like full screen to me.
Full screen?
Yes, it's like a full screen computer screen.
Yeah, what can you see now?
Vivo Nutrients, natural health solution provider in the middle.
Can you see the new screen now?
Yeah, I can see it.
What can you see on the new screen? Can you see on the new screen?
The Vivo Nutrients image.
Yep, can you see another, it should be on another screen now.
On the left?
No, on the same screen. I've changed the slide.
Right, no, it hasn't changed.
It hasn't changed.
Okay, let me do if I can scroll through. I want this to see the slides. There's some powerful slides today. Okay. You still can't see the slide? You can see the same slide, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right, what I may have to do, I don't want to abandon not doing it with the slides. All right, I'm going to go back to the screen share. And stop share. You can see me now, yeah?
Mhm.
You can see me, okay.
Yep, I can see you.
If I can't get it to work this time, I'm going to do it without the slides, which is not the way I wanted to do it, but it has to be. Can you see the screen now?
It says you're starting to share screen sharing, waiting for it to appear.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
That
better.
is perfect.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep, okay, thank you. What can you see now?
Freedom
Through well-being.
Amen. All righty, we got there.
We got there.
Quick test, just to make sure you can see the second slide, because I'm going to slide through them to make sure that they're moving as I move. Minimize the zoom. Do you know what? It's like it's not going to share this screen for some reason. Every time I click on it, it shares. And then when I want to go to the next screen, okay. You can see one screen at a time. You can see one share at a time. Can you see the diabetes sign? The new screen?
Yep. Yep.
What does it say?
Diabetes signs and symptoms.
Okay, fantastic. All right, let's get cracking. All right, so today we're going to start off.
Oh yeah, I can.
You can see it?
Yeah, and I can enlarge it as well. I didn't realize I could do that. Yeah.
So you can enlarge it. Okay, I'm going to keep it small because when I go too big, it seems like it overloads the system a little bit. So I'm going to start with the ones I have. So today we're going to start.
Okay.
We're going to kick off with diabetes and really empower you with the knowledge and tools on diabetes and how to avoid it, and also how to effectively and successfully reverse it completely, and more importantly, how to do it within 21 days. And you'll hear from people who've actually gone through it, through the process, through the program and the protocol, and been able to achieve a complete reversal of their diabetes. We're going to touch on a little bit on arthritis today as well. We're not going to go into too much detail because we're going to go into it more next week. But we're going to touch on arthritis, joint pain, back pains, etc. And we're going to hear some testimonials from some really powerful people and some lovely people who've taken out the time to come and share with you their journey through this process, through the program and through the protocols that they've engaged in and embarked upon for 21 days, and they've been able to achieve through that. By the end of today's session, we want you to really be empowered. We aim for you to be empowered with the knowledge and the information and the tools that you require to effectively manage your health, and more importantly, to improve your health and take it to a higher level. Okay, so, pardon me if I get a little bit distracted because I don't know why I've got the settings on everybody having to wait in the room So every now and again, I have to jump off and go and admit them. Like I have to quickly run to the door and open the door. Okay, they're back in now. Alrighty. So let's start off with these. Admit. What is diabetes? Admit. Let's see if I can change the settings. Anyway, diabetes, it's a condition that's linked to your, obviously your blood sugar and your body's ability to secrete insulin, to be able to break down the sugar levels, the glucose levels in your blood, to enable your body to receive energy as a result of the conversion of that glucose. I'm going to try and keep the terms as really simple and jargon-free as possible, so you've got a really basic understanding, and it's not going to lose you with too much, scientific and technical terms. So, looking at some of the signs of diabetes, the first things you may notice is obviously being very thirsty, feeling hungry, and it's for those of you who are on the line who have had diabetes or are not sure if you have diabetes. I'm going to help you to almost do like a diabetes risk test today, because a lot of people, the buzzword now when you go to hospital is, oh, you're borderline diabetic or you're actually pre-diabetic. So let's try and make sure we can eliminate some of those concerns or anxieties, or indeed symptoms, or identify those symptoms before you actually become fully blown, because it's a very serious issue if you do contract diabetes, because the ramifications of having your sugar levels high, in particular for a long time, are quite. Okay, so some of the signs you may experience of you being pre-diabetic are being very thirsty, feeling hungry, feeling tired, having blurry eyesight. If you find your eyesight is a bit blurry, these may be telltale signs that you're developing or beginning early stage of diabetes. The feeling or feeling tingling in your feet. So if you lost feeling or sensation in your feet or your toes, these are signs that you may be developing diabetes, sugar diabetes. Losing weight without trying, urinating more often. These are really textbook or telltale signs. Urinating more often if you find yourself going to the toilet a lot more often than usual. These are also early signs of diabetes. Deep, rapid breathing, dry skin and mouth, having a constant dry skin or dry mouth, always having a desire to drink water. Another clear one you may notice is fruity breath odor. If you start finding your breath smelling a bit more normal and you haven't actually taken on any sweets, these are all, again, signs that you may be experiencing early signs of diabetes. Nausea or vomiting, inability to keep down fluids, stomach pain, headaches, hunger, being nervous, having a rapid heartbeat, shaking or sweating, or even weakness. These are some of the early textbook signs of diabetes, and oftentimes a lot of people are going to hospital maybe with one or any combination of these symptoms, and either they will diagnose you with diabetes, or they may say that you're borderline and or pre-diabetic. Our objective is to really make sure we can reduce the numbers of people that are moving past that stage of being pre-diabetic into actual diabetes, because it's a very serious condition and a very serious concern, because when the sugar levels in your blood get really high, it causes a lot of damage in a lot of areas, and it actually damages a lot of your tissues. And once that sugar is left uncontrolled to roam about freely in the body, it's almost like having caustic soda in your engine if you drive, or putting some some really toxic materials into your bath. Because if you're bathing in that water, it's going to affect every part of your body, in particular your skin. So when you have sugar levels in your blood are left to remain too high for too long, the ramifications are quite severe and they term. Can you see the new screen now? Okay, great. So let's look at some of the, so pre-diabetes is a serious warning sign, and if you know you're experiencing any of those symptoms that we mentioned previously, then it's time for you to start taking preventive action, because you don't want to get into that situation where you actually have diabetes and your sugar level does spiral up out of control. But also, people that are diabetic or pre-diabetic have a higher predisposition of being exposed to COVID, or COVID, as I call it, because obviously where your sugar levels are high, your insulin levels are running out of control, it puts a huge pressure on your immune system, which leaves you susceptible to contracting other conditions. So now we've understood a little bit more about what is pre-diabetes and the symptoms associated. Let's have a look at some of the things that cause diabetes. And before we do that, I'm going to just open up the floor a little bit real quick. You can just unmute yourself and just quickly shout out what you think. What do you think causes diabetes? Just give me a quick fire. What do you think causes diabetes?
Your diet.
Mm-hmm.
Your lifestyle.
Lack of
Lifestyle.
exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Stress.
Stress, yeah.
Hereditary.
Hereditary, sometimes.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Lack of sleep.
Say again?
Lack of sleep.
Lack of sleep, definitely. That lack of sleep definitely will impact your pancreas and the body's its ability to secrete insulin. But somebody mentioned hereditary, and one of the things we're going to quickly clear up with hereditary diseases is actually 95% of your genes are unique to yourself, and there's only 5% of them that are actually attributed to your family history or your family line, your family gene pool. So that 5% will be a little bit from your mom, a little bit from your dad. But a lot of the genes are actually independent. So you have got the ability to be completely free from any diseases or conditions that your parents or your predecessors may have. However, what you find, and what we find a lot, is that somebody mentioned lifestyle, where you have a family that observes or follows or follows the same type of lifestyle, i.e. they eat the same type of foods, they sleep the same kind of diet, guess what? They're going to have the same kind of problems. So where you have, you're saying it's hereditary, it's not actually the condition that's hereditary. It's the lifestyle that's hereditary, the foods and the habits that they developed over the years that are hereditary. And when they pass down those foods, they pass down those lifestyles, they pass down those habits, guess what else they're going to pass down? They're going to pass down the same conditions. So it's just something to be mindful of, that it doesn't mean because your mom or your dad or your grandmother or grandfather had any of these conditions that you're automatically going to get them or you have a higher chance of getting them. If you are aware that if you make the relevant changes, you can effectively break that cycle. So now we've got a bit of an understanding of what does cause diabetes. It's interesting to hear how different people's perspectives. I'd like to see where people are at so we can make sure we can target the information accordingly. So I'm going to share with you real quickly some of the main causes of diabetes that may actually surprise you. Let's hope this screen will come up. Can you see the screen?
No.
Give it a few seconds, it should come up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now?
Yes.
Okay. So maybe as a big surprise to you, some of the biggest causes, in fact, the major cause of type 2 diabetes, sugar diabetes, is your food. It's not sugar, as a lot of people may believe or maybe think or led to believe. It's not sugar that causes diabetes. The actual sugar itself is almost the symptom of the levels of glucose released into the blood that the insulin is not able to control. But what produces that high glycemic load or that high glucose reaction in the body? It's your food. The biggest cause of diabetes is your food. Things like alcohol, bread. Bread is full of gluten, it's full of irritants to the body, it's full of toxins that will affect your endocrine system, which is your hormones, your pancreas, and its ability to signal and to send out insulin or signals to the receptors to release insulin when it's required. Bread has got a lot of wheat. It comes from a lot of wheat. So where wheat has been treated with pesticides, these pesticides are designed to destroy the bugs. And how they destroy those bugs is by interfering with those bugs' ability to reproduce themselves. That's how they bring them under control. So this is going to interfere with their hormones or what they call their endocrine system. And when those foods, those same foods, come into your body, those endocrine disruptors start to disrupt the normal flow of your endocrine system or your hormones, of which one of them is the pancreas and the ability for it to secrete insulin when it's required. So bread is a big key contributor to sugar diabetes. Also pasta. Pasta, again, from the same family. Potatoes, carbs, high carbohydrates. The body has to work really hard to convert those carbohydrates into energy. Because remember, when your body is receiving food, the key objective of it receiving that food is so it can convert it into sugar, which you will then use to energy. So when you have all those carbs that your body is now converted into glucose in order to give you energy that you've not taken, you've not used that energy, you've not taken that food, which is actually fuel, you've not used that fuel to do any kind of strenuous activity or exercise, that glucose, that sugar is now just left dwindling around, idling in the body. And this is what you have in that high sugar levels, that high blood sugar, which then leads you to being diagnosed with diabetes. So carbs, things like potatoes, rice, cereals, alcohol, pasta, bread, these are the foods that cause diabetes, and they put a huge strain on your metabolism, on your digestive system. So the areas that we see time and time again with people that have diabetes are problems with their liver, as well as problems with their pancreas, as well as problems with their kidney. And then we look at their vitamin profile, we see that their vitamins are lacking, especially B vitamins, because B vitamins are responsible for a lot of your metabolic processes. And where the B vitamins are, you find that a lot of people have an inability to process a lot of these carbs, especially the carbs in particular, which again contributes to the high levels of sugar in the blood. So let's just try and dispel that myth that sugar causes sugar diabetes. It's not. It's your food. The biggest cause of diabetes is your food in particular, especially the Caribbean or the African and Caribbean diet. This is where you start seeing these hereditary problems, or what they call it hereditary. It's not necessarily the condition that's hereditary. It's the diet, it's the food, it's the lifestyle that's hereditary. Okay, let's look at how diabetes uncontrolled. What happens if you leave your diabetes uncontrolled, where you leave those sugar levels high for a considerable amount of time? You may experience issues with your brain. You can get things like cardiovascular disease, where your cardiovascular starts to plug up because you've got that sugar left uncontrolled, running around for too long. Classic is going to be your teeth. Of course, if you've got too much sugar in the blood, it's going to start to erode your teeth. It'll start damaging the gums. So you find disease and tooth decay, gingivitis, periodontitis. This is inflammation within the gums. It can start to affect your nervous system. This is when you start having things like diabetic neuropathy. When you start having diabetic neuropathy, this is when your muscles start to break down because the sugar in your blood you've got too much sugar in the blood and it's starting to damage your muscles. The muscles are no longer able to work that they're designed to do because they're not receiving the right amount of fuel, the right amount of nutrients, because the sugar is blocking and inhibiting their normal function. Then we look over to the right, we've got your eyes. Again, that's another retinopathy. It's when your eyes start to break down. This is why people that have diabetes, most of them, they always associate their treatment with signing them up to a clinic or an eye clinic where they observe and monitor their vision, because they know nothing damages their eyes like sugar. This is why you find so many young children who are brought up on these very sweet-led diets. They have to start wearing glasses very early on because the levels of sugar in their blood is way too high, and the eyes that are such sensitive organs become very negatively affected by the sugar, and it starts to damage the retina, which then starts to impair their vision, which then leads them having to wear glasses that will never repair. So the eyes is another area that is affected by the sugar levels being high for too long. Then your heart. And then the worst one that we see, most importantly, is the kidneys. And this one is such a sad state, because when we see people that are on dialysis, this is like a late stage of diabetic neuropathy, when the diabetes has been left uncontrolled, or even if they think they're controlling it by using medication, they've been on long-term medication, but even with the medication, the metformin, the glycoside, the insulin, they've not been able to bring their sugar levels under control. This has now put a huge, tremendous strain on the kidney, which has now caused the kidney to overwork, then to actually stop being able to perform its proper function of filtering out the impurities out of the blood. And when they start to get into that levels of neuropathy, diabetic neuropathy, or diabetic-induced kidney disease, this is when they start to go into a serious state of disorder, when the kidney starts to malfunction, starts to break down, and then they need to go on that awful, 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 awful process of having to be subject to dialysis, which is something that they do 3 times a week. And the other 4 days, it literally takes you to, those 4 days to recover from each of those treatments. So if you have, and you've not got your sugar levels under control, you've not made the right changes, lifestyle changes, you've not made the right dietary changes, these are the things that you've got to look forward to. You can end up having dialysis, which I would not wish on my worst enemy. It is such an awkward and painful experience and process, and it's something that you have to do pretty much for the rest of your life unless you're able to get the right interventions in place. So I stress on you the importance of recognizing, number one, the early signs of diabetes, and number two, if you do have diabetes, don't settle with it. Don't just tolerate it and think, oh, I've got it under control, so I'm taking my metformin. Don't tolerate it and hope that it will just go away by itself. If you don't bring those sugar levels down, you've got heart disease to look forward to, you've got nerve disease to look forward to, you've got brain damage to look forward to, you've got loss of vision to look forward to, and you've got kidney issues to look forward to. Now, another element of diabetes, if it's left uncontrolled, I'm going to quickly show you this. Can you see my next screen? Can you see this next screen? Somebody give me a quick nod if you can see the next screen. Yeah, thank you, David. Okay, another long-term damage of having type 2 diabetes or blood sugar diabetes for too long is that it can start to cause your tissues to die. And when your tissues start to die, I'm sure you've heard about people having gangrene and having to have leg amputations or amputation of different organs as a result of their long-term diabetes. These are some of the issues of having high blood sugar or high sugar levels uncontrolled for extended periods of time. You get things like foot damage. You start to damage your feet because your tissues will start to die in your feet. And this is where people start having amputations of their legs or amputation of their feet or amputation below the knee because the sugar in the blood, in the tissues, has caused so much damage that the tissues can no longer take up oxygen. So those cells that rely on oxygen start to die off one by one. And as the cells start to die, the tissues and the surrounding organs that are relying on that oxygen also start to die. Then you no longer start having function or blood supply going to those organs because you've got no cells or no working cells to carry that blood. Because all the cells are damaged because of the sugar, then that tissue or that organ eventually starts to die. Then eventually it has to be removed or cut off from the body. Heart disease, because it affects your muscles, the heart is a muscle. So anything that affects your muscles will automatically also eventually affect your heart as well. So you've got to make sure that you're keeping an eye on all your muscles throughout your whole life. Muscle exercise is such a good thing. Going to the gym, doing any kind of resistance training, doesn't matter what you do. If you don't recognize the importance of exercising your muscles, you've only got a life of debilitating condition or debilitating diseases to look forward to, because your muscles are responsible for every single movement of your body. Every single organ in the body is controlled by a muscle, even down to your eyes. Your eyes have muscle. You can have, that's why you have ophthalmic retinopathy, which is when the muscles in the eyes start to waste away and they're not able to perform their function properly. Muscle. You've got your brain is a muscle. So you've got muscles all over the body that are relying on relevant amounts of nutrients, relevant amounts of oxygen, and good supplies of blood that is not contaminated with high levels of sugar in order for them to maintain long-term function. So really has to stress upon you the importance of make sure you're aware and mindful of the importance of your muscles well-trained, whether it's going to be through the gym, through exercise, doing press-ups, even walking up and down the stairs, just doing any kind of resistance training for all of your muscles, because every single part of your body relies on muscles. To get up, you need to have your glutes, your calves, your thigh muscles, your back muscles. Every part of your body requires muscles. So just bear that in mind, that when you have sugar levels high for too long, it's going to start to damage your muscles, which is going to have a negative effect on your body's ability to function normally. Now, I think I've covered all the areas I want to cover with diabetes, just to kind of give you an overview of what are the signs and symptoms of diabetes, what the definition of being pre-diabetic would entail, and the actual condition of diabetes itself, what actually causes it, and then what the effects of having your blood sugars or your sugar levels too high for too long, and the long-term damage that it can cause. So this is just to kind of cover this first part of today's presentation, which is of looking at diabetes and how we could reverse these conditions. I'm going to share with you a little bit later on as we go along, and you'll be able to hear from people that have gone through that, who had diabetes for long-term or long periods of time, but have to go through the process, go through the 21, and we do it in 21 days. We do it very, very quickly. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to reverse. Once you've got the right environment, you've got the relevant changes, lifestyle changes in place, you can kiss diabetes goodbye, and you can kiss it bye forever. Never to see it come back again, as long as you maintain your health and maintain your healthy lifestyle. Okay, let's quickly move on to arthritis. I'm only going to touch on arthritis today, just a little bit. I'm going to go into it in more depth next week, more depth into arthritis, joint pain, back pain. I know a lot of people are suffering with different levels of back pain, different levels of sciatica, different levels of inflammation. So I'm going to quickly touch on arthritis and what it actually is, and what some of the main or key causes of arthritis are. And again, we'll then share with you how we're able to pretty much reverse arthritis within 21 days, within a very short space of time, and get rid of all those aches and pains and joint stiffness almost and irreversibly, almost immediately as well. Okay, so the first one is, what is arthritis? Arthritis includes more than 100 conditions. Let's let me rein in. It includes more than 100 conditions affecting the joints, surrounding joints, and other connective tissue. Now, common symptoms of arthritis obviously are pain, aching joints, stiffness in joints, and all manner of discomfort within your body, within your muscles, in your tissues, and within your joints. Now, what we do here is we approach health from a more holistic perspective. What we do is what we call functional medicine or integrated medicine, where we look at the body as a whole. I'm going to give you a quick backdrop as to why arthritis is so prevalent in society and in our community in particular. First and foremost, let's understand what is inflammation. What is disease first? What is disease? The Oxford Dictionary definition of disease is a disorder of function that presents symptoms that is not linked to any accident or injury. That's what Oxford Dictionary says. The Webster Dictionary says they have a slight variation in the definition, but effectively, disease means it's a disorder of function that presents symptoms. Now, conventional medicine, they will look at your symptoms. They will look at what's the symptoms, what's happening as a result of whatever's gone wrong, whatever the disorder. They're not interested in disorder. They're only interested in looking at your symptoms and treating your symptoms or managing your symptoms. Hence with diabetes, they never actually deal with the disorder. They only ever manage the symptoms, which is the sugar levels stay high in the blood. So let's just try and manage those levels of sugar by putting you on a course of medication or a treatment of medication, which you have for the rest of your life. It never actually deals with the disorder, which is the actual problem or the root cause. Where we stand in terms of functional medicine, our integrated approach causes, as I said, to look at the body as a whole. So looking at the body as a whole, we are only interested in what is the disorder, i.e. what has gone wrong. Once we identify what has gone wrong, we'll then be able to see how it's led to producing these symptoms. And once we identify the disorder and we correct the disorder, or we restore order where there's disorder, the symptoms go away by themselves. We don't treat any condition, we don't treat any symptoms. We merely and wholly and solely look at the body, and we help to restore order within the body, which then takes care of the symptoms automatically. Now, going back to arthritis, why do so many people in our community have arthritis?
What are you having for lunch? Excuse me, tomorrow.
Please mute yourselves if you don't mind. Please keep your Sonia?
What?
Sonia?
What don't you have?
Sonia?
Yeah.
Your computer or your phone on mute, please.
Salad or something.
Aha, I have the power.
Wear and tear.
Okay, wear and tear. Okay, so why does our community have so much arthritis in our community? Guess what? That old common denominator again, it's linked to our food. Our food. Food is such a beautiful thing to have, but it can also be such a pain if it's not used in the right way. So let's look at some of the foods that cause arthritis that we in our community eat particularly high levels of. First one is processed and red meats, refined and artificial sugars, a lot of our processed sugars, dairy products, so lots of milk, yogurts, cheese. These sort of foods are key implications of arthritis and contributors. Corn oil, refined grains and flour, that's all our bread, our hard-boiled bread, our dumplings, all these foods that we eat on a regular basis. These are the foods that contribute to arthritis. Why? Because they contribute to the disorder, which is the inflammation. When your body's not able to break down these foods, the body has to then try and store these foods somewhere, and more often than not, it has to store it in the joints. If it's not been able to be eliminated, passed out through the body, through the bowels, through the kidney, especially if you're diabetic, because the sugar levels are too high, which means it's going to be damaging the organs, it's now going to lead to these foods not being eliminated and having to be stored in the joints, which are going to cause inflammation, which is going to lead to pain. Additional foods that cause arthritis that we want you to definitely avoid if you can is foods like eggs. Again, refined salt, whey protein, beer, alcohol, foods containing monosodium glutamate, MSG. Now, before I go to that next slide, one of the biggest foods that I see over the years that why we have such high levels of arthritis in our community. It said corn oil, but it means any oil. When you have oil when oil is cold in its natural state, it's actually medicine. When you have not vegetable oil, coconut oil, for example, olive oil, these are all medicines. They're medicinal oils, and when you have them in their cold state, they're actually medicine for the body because they can actually lubricate joints. They can actually help food to move through your colon. If you look at the Mediterranean diet, it's very rich in these oils, olive oil, olives, natural olives. They use a lot of oils in their diet, and they're very, very healthy people on the whole. However, us now, in our community, we tend to use oil in a much different way. We tend to heat it, and we heat it extensively with our fried food culture. So we fry a lot of our foods. We have a lot of fried fish, fried dumplings, fried chicken, all of these foods that we fry and heat up. If you look on a plate, when you finish eating your rice and peas or your whey, right, that has a lot of oil in it, that's been heated, when you finish that meal, if you look on that plate, you'll see like a film of grease. When the grease starts to harden, you then have to use washing out liquid and some hot water to break it down. So you imagine the process happens inside gut or inside your blood. That means this food is starting to harden, this oil is starting to harden in your arteries, which is now starting to cause inflammation in your arteries, which is now going to start leading to pain. So your fried food is one of the key contributors to people having arthritis. But I'm going to share with you, before we go into, let me go into the foods that help to eliminate arthritis. Can you see the screen, the next screen? Let's give me a quick nod once the screen comes up. The old screen. Can you see the new screen?
Yeah, seeing it.
You can see it now?
Elimination, that one, the inflammation.
Information, okay, fantastic. Okay, so now, let's look at some of with any other foods I've missed. Okay, you got your fried food in there, you got your syrup and your soft drinks. These soft drinks, again, add more sugar, which start to calcify in the blood when the kidney can't break them down. Your meat and dairy products, your fast foods, you know, the processed foods, processed meats, your pork, like your milk and your dairy products. These all contribute to the inflammation levels in the blood. Also gluten. Now, before we start looking at some of the foods that you can use to avoid and to reverse some of the inflammation, I'm going to share with you something that I've discovered over the last 4 years. That aside from food, has been an even bigger contributor to arthritis, or people that have arthritis. I'm sharing this with you because I want you to be empowered and to have the full knowledge of what's actually going on in your body and how you can prevent some of these conditions from affecting you, or indeed affecting your family and your loved ones around you. One of the things that we discovered, because every time we do a scan of the body, we always do a bacteria scan. And I want you to make a note of this and write it down. If you've got a pen, write it down, or write it in your phone. Wherever you're going to write it down, or wherever you're going to make a note of it, make a note of it. This is very important. Whenever we do a scan, we scan the body, we have a conversation with the body through your hand. And for those who don't know, we always do what we call a body MOT, health MOT assessment, which is a non-invasive technology that we use that has a conversation with your body through your hand. Now, the body speaks via the software, and it produces a very detailed report that highlights the level of stress on all your organs. So things like your heart, your lungs, your liver, your kidney, your brain, your breast, your bowels, your blood, your prostate, every organ comes up on the scan, on the screen, and then your body makes recommendations of what it needs to bring it back into balance. But one of the things that we do as standard, we always do a virus scan, we always do a bacteria scan. We look to see what viruses are prevalent in your body, what they're doing and what they're up to, and we always look to see what bacteria are prevalent in the body. And what we've discovered as a common factor or common theme amongst people that have arthritis is a particular bacteria or bacteria strain called Borrelia. Now, what's bacteria got to do with arthritis? Again, just trying to keep your knowledge increased and keep you more empowered. I'm going to give you a quick explanation how inflammation is caused. Inflammation predominantly is caused by bacteria or the buildup of bacteria. When bacteria builds up, then it then leads to inflammation. It leads to inflammation within the cell. What causes this bacteria? So what causes inflammation is the bacteria. Most people will just say the food, and then they'll say the inflammation, but there's a very important factor in between, the biochemical process that happens, which is linked to the bacteria. And what we discovered was that there's a particular strain of bacteria that's always available and always implicated wherever there's cases of arthritis. And that bacteria is called Borrelia. Write it down, Borrelia. B-O-R-R-E-L-I-A. B-O-R-R-E-L-I-A, Borrelia. There's a whole family of Borrelia bacteria. You've got Borrelia carteri, you've got Borrelia burgdorferi, you've got a whole family of bacteria called Borrelia. And when we started to research this bacteria even more, we discovered that this bacteria is linked to, or is a main causal factor in a disease called Lyme's disease. So write that down as well. Lyme's disease, L-Y-M-E-S. You may have heard of Lyme's disease, you may have not heard of it. Sometimes conventional medicine don't really acknowledge these conditions because maybe they haven't got a particular medicine or a particular treatment to actually address it or to treat it long term. But the Borrelia bacteria leads to a condition called Lyme's disease, L-Y-M-E-S. Now, how do these bacteria get into your gut environment? The easiest or the most common way of you contracting the Borrelia bacteria is through ticks, T-I-C-K-S, through ticks. And when these ticks bite you, one of the things you notice, you may get a rash. And as you get that rash sometimes starts to spread over your body. So you may or may not make the association between your arthritis and maybe having a skin rash that may develop in different parts of the body. But I'm just kind of giving you like a quick overview just so you can have a little bit more information to really add to your repertoire of knowledge about your health and how you can maintain it. Borrelia bacteria, it leads to Lyme's disease and is transmitted by ticks. Now you've got those three key elements. I want you in your own time to go and research or look up the symptoms of Lyme's disease. When you look up the symptoms of Lyme's disease, you will notice that they run along the same lines as the condition or the symptoms of people that suffer with arthritis. You will see aching muscles, you will see pain in the joints, you'll see aching muscles and joints, you'll see fatigue and a number of other symptoms. Now you may not experience all of them because you have an immune system that's constantly working to try and bring your body back into order. But you'd always see a common strain of symptoms that are very similar to those of people suffering with arthritis. But we've discovered that it's Lyme's disease that's mainly behind people that have arthritis. So guess what we do? Because we are interested in the disorder, we automatically go to restore order in that area. So clear that Lyme's out of the gut, clear the Lyme's out of the blood, guess what happens? Arthritis disappears. I'm not saying we treated arthritis, but I'm saying we saw a disorder, we restored order where that disorder was, and a byproduct of that process was that arthritis disappeared. But anyway, you'll see for yourself as you start to research. But anyway, let's quickly move on. So, in addition to that, so some foods that you can use to help you to reduce the inflammation. You've got foods like nuts. They're very good anti-inflammatory. Let's call them anti-inflammatories. Avocado is a very good anti-inflammatory food. Tart cherries. Tart cherries are supernatural at bringing down inflammation in your body. Orange vegetables and fruits, fresh ones though. Olive oil, when it's raw, when it's in its natural state, not when it's cooked, when it's cold, when it's in its natural state. Pineapples, and then of course the powerhouses, turmeric, ginger, onions, and garlic. Very, very powerful anti-inflammatory foods that are very good at bringing down the inflammation in your body at any given time. Okay, oh, someone's trying to get in. All right, so now let's quickly move on to how we help people to address or reverse these conditions, i.e. the diabetes, the sugar diabetes, the arthritis, or the Lyme disease, as you may have discovered now, the joint pain, the back pains, and a whole plethora of other conditions. I'm going to quickly whiz through this just so we can get some people on so you can hear a few testimonials. Okay, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, over the years, we've seen a wealth of different people with a plethora of different conditions. We've had people with diabetes, we've had people with weight gain or weight issues, arthritis, high blood pressure, lupus, fibromyalgia, multiple sclerosis, chronic fatigue syndrome, sciatica, so many different conditions. And again, these are all symptom-based. All these diagnoses, they're all based on symptoms. We're not interested in symptoms, we're only interested in the disorder or what's gone wrong. And once we identify what's gone wrong, we then put a program that will help to restore order in the interior, within the internal environment, and as a result, brings itself back into homeostasis, and those symptoms to just simultaneously just disappear. So we've devised a protocol that I'm going to share with you called the HERN protocol. And we've used this extensively for the last 7 years to deal with thousands of different people with different conditions, from different backgrounds, from different medical backgrounds, with different medical histories. But we put them through the HERN protocol, and they've come out the other side with amazing results. Okay, so the HERN protocol, I'll give you real quick, give you a quick run through of what it does and what it entails. HERN, that's what we use to really bring the body back into order. H stands for hydration, E is for elimination, R is for rest, and N is for nutrition. We've used these 4 key principles throughout every aspect of the lifestyle change journey that we put people on, and it has produced amazing results time after time after time after time. I'm only going to focus on just one of the key elements today, just because of time. I want to get some people on. But hydration is the key, is one of the key, most important elements that we found has had the greatest amount of effect in when we're bringing people from a state of disorder back into order. Because the majority of people that we see suffer with what we call a situation or symptom called UCD. UCD, we've coined it, unintentional chronic dehydration. Now, when people are dehydrated, so many things can happen and so many things cannot happen or will stop happening. And let's just go through some of the key things that are affected by your dehydration. Your respiratory system will stop working. Your respiratory system will stop working. You'll start developing things like asthma, hay fever, etc., linked to not having enough water in your body. Body fatigue, constipation, weight gain, key one. Your cholesterol will start to increase. You'll start having high cholesterol, and they'll start taking statins. Instead of you drinking your water and increasing your hydration, they'll say, you can't manage your health and you can't manage your diet, we're going to manage it for you. So you start taking these statins. Kidney stones, you start to develop kidney stones, again, as a result of unintentional chronic dehydration. Digestive problems, bloating, stomach bloating, skin allergies, because the skin is 70% water, and more importantly, joint pain and back pain. So these are some of the symptoms as a result of having the disorder, which is not having enough water in your body. Other conditions that are linked to having not enough water, we call it the 7 wonders of water. Arthritis is linked to not having enough water. Back pain is key to not having enough water, because you've got the synovial joints in your back, which are like gel cushions that cushion between your back and your spine. Again, they sit between the muscle and the bones. And when these gel joints, the synovial joints, become dehydrated, guess what? You're going to start having bone grinding into bone. You start having situations like slip discs. Again, this is linked to dehydration. All you got to do is increase the hydration. Obviously, do some elimination and some little bit of detoxing. But the key thing is to increase the hydration, and it'll start to fill those gel cushions back up with water, and start to reform again. And once the gel starts to reform, guess what? You've now got order where you had disorder before. So where you had pain, you've now got no pain. Again, that's just linked to increasing your water. Water retention. People think, how do I have water retention? What's that got to do with water? If you look at a cactus is a plant in the middle of the desert. It's got this big fat stem. Why does it have this big fat stem? Because anytime it gets a little bit of rainwater, it has to store that water in that stem. Don't know how long, it could be for 1 year, it could be 2 years before it receives any more water. When you look at someone who's suffering with water retention, what do they have? Big fat ankles. That means the body is now realizing that it's in a state of drought, so it's now going to start storing water in the lower extremities of the body. Obviously, because of gravity, it's going to keep it in the lowest part, so that when the body requires an urgent supply of water, it's got a small reservoir to draw from. So water retention is as a result of dehydration. As you start to increase the hydration, you've restored order where there's disorder. Water appears. Bloating, again linked to your digestive system. water for every single digestive function. It requires water to move nutrients into the cells and to move waste and toxins out of the cells, and also to move sugar out of the cells. So if you're not going to have enough water in your diet, guess what? You're going to have high levels of sugar in your blood. So there's so many things that water, that's just one of the key elements. But when we combine all 4 of the key elements of our lifestyle change protocol, or the HERN protocol, i.e. the hydration, we work on the elimination, we get rid of all the waste that's built up in your gut, that's not been able to be removed as a result of the disorder. We rest, you've got to get you resting, you've got to get you sleeping, because if you're not sleeping, you're not healing. You've got to get your body sleeping, because that's the body's natural system of healing and restoration. And the last one is nutrition. You've got to get your body getting the right levels of food, or not so much of food, because everything is food, but not everything is nutrition. The digestive process is all about extracting and breaking down the food into molecules and macromolecules so it can extract the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that you need to feed your cells. So once your body's received the nutrients, live nutrients into the cells, again, it's going to restore order where there was a disorder, where there was a deficiency, there's now relevant and elegant supply. So this is why it's important to be aware of how these natural things that we take for granted have such a significant impact on our health, or our body's ability to maintain health. So we use the HERN protocol to restore order where there is disorder. Then we also do a little bit of detoxing, hence the elimination. We incorporate that within your HERN protocol. We incorporate obviously all the tools that you need, the supplements that you need, they're all food-based products that you use. We use Oxyflush to really cleanse the colon. We use Elixir of Life to really increase your silica and your collagen content in your body, in your blood. Use the Ultra Detox, which is very rich in anti-inflammatories. It's got your turmeric in there, it's got your curcumin, it's got your black pepper, it's got your bitter aloes, it's got your dandelion, your burdock, all the anti-inflammatories that the body needs and recognizes because it's in a plant-based form. We use your brain juice to help increase the blood flow to the brain. It helps increase your memory, your mood. Why do we need to do that? Because where you have a lack of nutrients in your body, or you've got an arthritic environment, or you've got high blood sugar, the brain is now going to be starved of essential nutrients. It's going to be starved of essential oxygen in order for it to perform its optimal function. So when we incorporate the brain juice, for example, it's now going to carry a more nutrient-rich blood to the brain, which is where it's needed. And once the brain is working to order, it can now command the immune system and command all the other organs within the body to do what they're meant to do more effectively and more efficiently. So everything is geared towards bringing back order into the body. And as a result of us making these lifestyle changes, and we do it amazingly only within 21 days. We do that for 21 days. It's a very short program, but it incorporates all those elements, the key elements, i.e. the HERN protocol, making relevant lifestyle changes, changing some of your old habits and replacing them with new habits. And once you start to remove some of these old habits, let me give you some examples of bad old habits. In fact, David, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring in some of the people that have gone through the process and let them quickly share, because you've had diabetes for, how long do you have diabetes for?
I'm going to say I had it for like 20 years.
Wow, 20 years. David had diabetes for 20 years, and he came to us. We identified the areas where the disorders were. We put him on a program. We used the HERN protocol, and got him to change his habits, because he had a lot of old habits that were some bad habits. What were some of your bad habits that you used to do, David, that you used to adopt, or you had for a long time?
Fizzy drinks, chocolates, crisps,
okay,
takeaway, fast foods.
Processed foods, yeah, fantastic. So we help people to identify these bad habits that they're doing, but some of them are doing it subconsciously. They don't realize that they're doing it because there's other things that are going in the body that are contributing to these cravings, like parasites and worms, etc. So these are some of the things that are fueling these actions and these decisions that are detrimental to your health. So I'm gonna let David, you just come in, and because obviously you've been for the program, you've had diabetes. Just share with us how you were before you came and where you are now.
I would say the program changed my life. I could say that the program saved my life. I was in a bad way. I was having heart palpitations. I was overweight, eating the wrong foods. And then once I started the program and I cut out the foods, I realized the effect that the bad food was having on me. And I don't look back.
Just tell us a bit about your diabetic. You were diabetic for how long? 20 years. Taking, I don't know, what was it? Metformin? Were you taking glycoside?
Yeah, metformin, glycoside. At one stage, they wanted me to take statins for cholesterol. I now wear glasses. Tell me about my eyesight. I've had arthritis, the joint pains, the back pains. Basically, everything you've kind of said today, I've kind of been through. And since going through the program with you, like my arthritis, the back pains, these are all things that have gone.
Wow. So what does your doctor say about your diabetes now? I mean, what's the situation with your diabetes now?
They can't believe it. I don't even bother with them no more. Every minute they're trying to tell me about blood tests and your medication, and I just ignore them. All they want you to do is just take medication. They don't want you to beat it. They just want you to be a part of it forever. There's no money in a cure, but there's money in repeat prescription.
So when did you finish your program? How long ago since you finished your program, and what's your current status now with your blood sugar?
I started the program, it was a year ago. It was last year, October, I started the program. And I went through all 3 stages. I didn't just do your 21-day, I've done all 3 stages. So I finished the program in January, I believe, like the end of January. And my sugar, once I started doing the program and I was checking my sugar has been the lowest it's been. It was like 5.8 during the program near the beginning. And that was the lowest my sugar had been in like 6 years. Wow. My sugar is generally like 15, 16. Just before I started the program with you, my sugar was at 22. I spent a night in hospital. They even gave me insulin, and they gave me a rapid insulin, and that only brought my sugar down to 19. Wow. So even the medication wasn't really helping me.
Wow. Wow. So
but once I started the program and you changed my lifestyle and the foods I was eating, my sugar dropped down rapidly.
And what period of time did you say you saw the most significant results? In what period of time?
I'm going to say within 10 days.
Within 10 days?
Within 10 days, I saw a difference.
Okay, everybody says that, everybody says that within 10 days. This is why we say within the 21 days, because the body's always seeking to bring you back into order. It doesn't take long. Once you've made the right changes in the relevant areas, it doesn't take long for the body to get to work and do what it does best. And I'm just so grateful for you to share your testimony, Dave, because I know sometimes people think that, these things is because they've been diagnosed and they've been receiving treatment-wise, that there's no way that there's anything that they can do, and more importantly, they can do naturally that can bring about these changes, and not just bring about the changes, but to bring about the changes long term. Now,
well,
go ahead.
What I will say is, before, like during my busy lifestyle and schedule, like I'm always working, I'm basically on the roads, I would normally stop and get junk food, fried chicken, chips, kebab, you name it. Now what I do is I search for juice bars that are near me. If I don't make one before I leave out, and I'll go and get a freshly made juice with like kale, cucumber, broccoli, celery, ginger, the healthy option.
Wow, wow, wow. Fantastic. And this is as a result of you making those lifestyle changes, seeing the difference that it's made to your health, your well-being, your wellness, and making a conscious decision that this is how you want to continue living the rest of your life.
100%.
And that's fantastic, because this is what we like. We love seeing success stories like you, because our job is not to really hold your hand for the rest of your life. Our job is to get you back on the right track, help you to identify the areas where things are going wrong, help you to make the relevant changes, and you make those changes. You do all the work. We don't do anything. We're just facilitators. We just provide information, provide the knowledge, provide the tools. You take it away. You do all the work, and once you see the benefits, then you've got skills for life that you can then maintain and share with other people. I've heard quite a high number of people on the back of your success?
Well, since meeting you, Aaron, I've given a few of my friends and family members your numbers, and a few of them have been to see you. And I can tell you, like, I can see a drastic change in some of my friends.
Wow, wow, fantastic. And that's part of our vision, because our vision is promoting freedom through well-being, but our mission is to create 1 million ambassadors worldwide. And we actually set out doing it in 2018, and we wanted to do it. So we've only got 3 more months to achieve this. So thank you so much for sharing that, David. We want to really expand that mission to get more ambassadors, to get more people, to really create a community of health conscious individuals such as yourself. So thank you so much for that, David.
Well, if you'd like to employ me, Aaron, to be one of your ambassadors, I wouldn't say no.
You already are. You already are, David. You're walking billboard. Walking billboard.
Well, I'm definitely. Okay, say no more. Well, I'm definitely going to come and see you this week. I'd like to get some more IMAX.
Okay. Oh, yes, the eyes. You know what? I'm not going to go into the eyes. I'm going to let somebody else share about what's happening with the eyes. But yes, if we have time, I may come back to you about your eyes as well, because I know eyes is another thing that we said with diabetes. People that have diabetic retinopathy, the sugar levels start to affect their eyes. So I want to quickly see if we have on the call with us Janice. Janice, are you online with us? I want you to quickly unmute yourself if you can. Are you here with us, Janice? Janice! You here, Janice? I haven't actually seen her online today.
Okay. Hi, Aaron. I am.
Oh, Janice, you're there?
No, it's Clara.
Oh, hi, Clara. Oh, you made it. Fantastic.
I made it.
Thank you so much for joining us, Clara. I'll be trying to get you one as well. Okay, Nico. Where's Mr. Nico? Because we're always hearing from women. Sometimes it's good to get the guys to come and share, because guys normally are a bit backward in coming forward, especially when it comes to their health. So it's really important that we can get some input from some guys today to really encourage other men who are taking their health for granted and putting it on the back burner to bring it more to the forefront. Nico, are you with us today? Nico, I'm sure I saw you online earlier. Are you there, Nico?
You need to
unmute. Janice. Unmute yourself, Janice. Can you hear this? We can't hear you. Make sure you got your volume. I think you got your volume on mute. Make sure you're dialing with the phone audio or your laptop audio. Dialing with the computer audio. Check on your speaker levels to make sure we can hear you. In the meantime, can you
hear me?
Nico, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Nico's another person that had diabetes. How long do you have your diabetes, Nico?
About 10 years or so, more.
10 years. Just quickly share your story, Nico.
Frozen. Been muted.
I can see you. I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, shit. No.
It's not frozen, Nico. We can hear you.
Oh.
I can hear you as well, Ermin.
I think we've been muted.
No, you're not muted. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
The connection. My connection is very unstable.
Yeah, the devil's a liar.
Yeah.
Hey, Nico, go ahead.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I've been diagnosed for the past 10 years or so. And I really go through a rough time with all the symptoms that you can think about. I had it. You know, I used to drink a lot of water, rashes of my skin, couldn't sleep. You know, sometimes I feel tired, you know. But since meeting you, going through your thing, things get much, much better, you know. Mm-hmm.
Your program itself, when you had your diabetes, how long did it take you for your diabetes to be brought under control when you're on the program?
Oh, it took me about at least, say, 2 weeks, really.
2 weeks.
Yeah, roughly about that. It was under control. because at first my blood sugar was about 22. And then when I get into your program, it came down to about, I think it was 5.6.
Wow.
Yeah. And since then, it's been leveling on that for a while now.
And how long ago did you do the program?
I think we did. I did 3 sessions with you, 2 sessions.
When did you finish? When did you complete?
When was we complete?
It was after Christmas.
Just after Christmas, about say February time.
Second time.
About February of this
February
year.
time. And how's your blood sugar been since February?
Yeah, it's been good because at times there's a bit of lapse and all that, and but I think I have it under control because really it's just about dieting, really about eating the right type of food. Try to stay away from all sweet things because sometimes I do have a bit of sweet tooth sometimes, I want something sweet,
as you
know, but it's just but I have to try and control that, really. But I have really. With the help of my good wife here, she helped me out.
Tell him
Erwin's been amazing. Erwin, I'm going to bring you on next week. When we do arthritis, Erwin, I'm going to bring you on next week when we cover arthritis.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
Very quickly, Nico, what does your doctor say, Nico? What does your GP say now regarding your diabetes?
Oh, yeah. She wants to know what's happening. What have I been doing to control it, And so I told her I was taking some herbs and all that type of thing because she said to me it couldn't be cured. And if it could be cured, she wouldn't be in a job, So when she said that to me, that made me even more determined, really, And when I went back for a test, everything was all right. And she said to me, come back again 6 month time. So I went back 6 months after. Right, and everything was there was no trace of diabetes, nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. So
diabetes. 6 months later, nothing in the blood, no levels of high levels of sugar.
No, there was nothing. No.
Fantastic. Again, a testament to your, to your efforts, to your hard work and persevering. I know the program wasn't easy for you, but it wasn't easy. To get to grips with it and knuckle down, make the changes. I know do things that you may not want to have done, but you came through it, and now you've got your testimony to go with for the rest of your life. So, heartfelt thanks for sharing your story.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Janice, can we hear you? You can't hear you. Make sure your volume is turned right up. No, you're not muted. Make sure your volume is turned right up. Your story was really powerful. No. If what you do, keep going until you can get the volume, until you can hear yourself speaking, because you will hear yourself speaking on the actual on the call itself. But in the meantime, it's Mandisa. Mandisa, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. One of the other areas that once we start to use the lifestyle change program, which is like we call it the HERN protocol, it's a 21-day detox, but it's very effective at restoring order internally. And once we found that obviously diabetes, high blood sugar, a lot of people with chronic fatigue syndrome, back pain, sciatica. But one of the things that we've discovered as well is that even fibromyalgia has been able to be positively impacted using the same HERN protocol. And the most wonderful thing about it is that we've been able to see amazing results, amazing turnaround in the same significantly short period of time. Now, Mandisa has been suffering with chronic fatigue. Well, is it chronic fatigue? Chronic fatigue?
Chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, and small fiber neuropathy.
Okay, there you go. That neuropathy. Hear that neuropathy again? Just quickly explain what that.
Huh?
Quickly explain what the neuropathy is. What that means. The small fiber neuropathy. What that means.
So it's pain that's comes from the brain, but manifests in my feet. For a lot of people, apparently it's in their legs, but for whatever reason, for me, it's been my feet. And the result was that I was in constant pain when walking, not when walking, sorry, constant pain, walking, sleeping, sitting, it didn't matter. I had to put up my beloved heels. I haven't worn a heel in like 8 years.
Wow.
My house has been, between the small fiber neuropathy and the fibromyalgia, I had to have my bathroom adapted. So now my bathroom is a wet room. It's a shower. It's got a seat in it. I had to have a stair lift fitted as well in my house. So just between those two, I've got a bunch of other, I've got a bunch of other illnesses, but those two were really whooping my butt.
So your whole lifestyle has been impacted by this condition?
Completely.
And how long have you been diagnosed with fibromyalgia?
I don't remember what came first because I got the 3 of them back to back, but I got one in 2011, one in 2012, and one in 2013.
Okay. And what are the main symptoms of all 3 that are most prevalent?
So with the chronic fatigue syndrome, it was an exhaustion above anything.
Yes.
It's kind of like if you went to work out, but you hadn't had any sleep for 24 hours, and then you were in the gym for like 2 hours, and you hadn't been to the gym for 6 years. So everything, taking a step was exhausting. I would have a constant sore throat, constantly felt like you were about to get the flu, but never got the flu, so you never got over it. Lots of headaches, and then a lot of joint and muscle pain, and I also gained a hell of a lot of weight. And it was in a very short space of time as well. So my GP, I gained the weight after I had my first child, and they were like, well, it's because you had a baby. But I gained 2 stone, 28 pounds. I gained that in like 6 months.
Wow.
Or 3 months.
Yes.
Something like that. But by the end of the year, I was 4 stone heavier than I had started out.
Wow.
Just after the baby, because I actually lost weight during my pregnancy. So I was underweight when I had her. And then by the end of the year, I was well overweight as well.
Okay.
So those were between the 3. Like I said, the small fiber neuropathy is the pain in the feet and all the problems that creates with walking. The fibromyalgia, it was very difficult for me to differentiate the difference between the pain from the small fiber neuropathy, not the fibromyalgia and the CFS. But I noticed with fibromyalgia.
Okay, so just quickly, let's give us a quick run through what's happened in the last 3 weeks. What change you noticed
arms and your legs
on the program?
Constantly.
I need to sell Valerie and mute.
1 second. One second. I'm going to mute everybody first. I'm going to try to mute everybody. Right. That's not allowed to. But please, if you guys, if you got your phone or your computer on or unmuted, please make sure you mute yourself. I can see people got their hands raised. We're going to try and get some questions afterwards. But yeah, just make sure you keep yourself on mute. Okay. Right. Go ahead, Mendisa. So what's happened in the last 3 weeks? What's been going on in the last 21 days in your life?
We hear of some, so we never hear of them before.
Whoever's got, hang on, whoever's got their, I'm going to see if I can mute everybody. Whoever's got their phone on mute, unmute their computer unmuted, please make sure you mute yourself. I'm going to go to participants and try and mute everybody. Let me see if I can do that from here. I should be able to mute everybody. Okay, go ahead, Mandisa, anyway. Oh, here we go, mute all. Hang on, I'm going to mute everybody. Okay, so now you unmute yourself, Mandisa. If I can unmute, if I can find you. Yeah, unmute yourself.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
You can hear me?
Yep.
What was the question? Sorry.
What's happened in the last 21 days? What's been your experience in the last 21 days since you came to see us? And what's happened?
Okay, so I'm still battling with changing my lifestyle somewhat, but I'm definitely getting better than I was. By the end of the first week, I had no pain. I haven't had no pain in over a decade. I was walking with no pain, nothing hurt, nothing. No back pains, no joint. I couldn't even move my fingers at certain times. They were too stiff and swollen. No finger pain, nothing. I'm not as exhausted as I was either. I'm tired. I've got 2 kids in the house and my other half lives overseas, so I'm tired, but that's a natural tiredness. But I don't have storm. I don't have the bone deep exhaustion that I was working with before. And I remember when I had my appointment with you, you asked me something and it stuck with me because I couldn't understand. You were like, what's going on with your eyes? And I was like, nothing, what are you talking about? And then I realized, it was like about a week later, I realized that actually I kept seeing, my vision kept getting cloudy. But what I thought was happening is because with chronic fatigue syndrome, you can smell things that are not there, which has been problematic because there have been times where I thought I could smell gas and I was like, do I have a gas leak or am I imagining it? Or I'd go to hug my husband when I meet him and I'm like, oh, your bed smells like strawberries. And he'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? But so I thought maybe this was some kind of new development because there were times when I'd be sitting there looking for something, a fire that had started because I'm like, I can see smoke. There's smoke in the house. And I realized that was my eyesight because I've not had that issue, not once since I started the program. There's no smoke, there's no cloudy residue. So I've noticed a huge change in just some of the little areas, and I've dropped some weight as well.
And you dropped some weight?
My feet yeah, I've dropped some weight. My feet don't. When I gained weight, I went up a shoe size. So I've got a whole closet full of shoes I can't wear. So my feet like are shrinking. I was like, oh, some of my shoes fit. So those are just what I've been doing in the last few weeks, and I've still got a fit, like about just under half the medicine left. I think the supplements left, just under. Wow. So I look forward to seeing what I'm going to be like in 2 more weeks' time.
Wow, wow. So no pain.
None.
No pain.
None.
And how's your sleep?
None.
How's your sleep now? Your sleep?
Oh, it's night and day because I had always had trouble sleeping anyway. And in recent times, I've just, even though I was tired, I couldn't sleep. So I was going to bed at like 3 in the morning and then getting up roughly around 6 or 7 because of the school run and stuff like that. So that wasn't, obviously that's not going to help if you're already suffering from some kind of exhaustion. So I was a mess. Oh, I've been losing hair as well. And then, young man. And I started to notice like growth, just little fluff, little fluff balls. But my hair is starting to come back in. But yeah, so now I'm resting. I'm managing to go to sleep at like 11, which for me, everyone that knows me, when they're so used to my late hours, they think nothing of calling me at midnight or 1 in the morning because they know I'm going to be awake. And when they're messaging me at 11 and there's no answer, and at 2 there's still no answer, they're freaking out thinking something's wrong. And when I tell them I'm sleeping, they're like, are you sick? And I'm like, no, I think I'm getting healthy.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mandisa. And that's key because you've identified some key lifestyle changes that you've made, and even your friends have started to notice that this is not your norm anymore because this was a habit for you, going to bed, yes, the night after 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and just making those adjustments backwards in terms of bringing your body out of that state of disorder from those bad habits and starting to incorporate more good habits. You're now in bed at 11 o'clock, which is very unusual for you, but you've seen that the impact of just taking 2 hours off your normal sleep time and how much more energy you find you have, how much more repair your body's able to effect as a result of having that additional hours of rest and restoration. So that's amazing. That's key. And the fact that your friends are thinking that there's something wrong with you when you're actually doing what's right. So this goes to show what level of psyche that we have where we do what's damaging to the body. It's almost seen as the norm, going for that one. But when you do what you should be doing, people see it as strange. Fantastic. And in addition, you said you've made some lifestyle changes, you've made some dietary changes, and
yeah,
you said that you've got no pain. That was that's what blew me away first and foremost. But also
none. It's it's been, my husband, like I said, my husband is based in America, and he is ecstatic because he hates the fact that physically I'm suffering, and then obviously I'm doing that with the children, and then he's always telling me to go to bed, go to bed, go to bed. So now when he's like, I don't have to tell her to go, she's actually asleep. He's happy. If I miss his call, he's happy. The fact that I've got no pain, he is amazed. Like, we all are. I have a walking stick that, well, I've got crutches that I have to keep in the car because there were some days where actually I couldn't walk properly and I needed the crutches to help me keep moving. And now they're just sort of in the back of the car. Like, my car was rear-ended, so it had to be taken for repairs.
Sure.
And they brought me the rental, and they were like, "Oh, we've got crutches in there. Do you not need them?" And I was like, "No, I'm fine. It's fine. Whatever. Just leave them. It's fine."
So
I could have never said that before.
Sure. And that again in itself.
And something you don't know as well. I have all those food allergies.
Yes.
And you remember that one of the medicines you gave me, I said, well, actually, it's got orange oil in it, and I don't think I can take this.
Yeah.
So you said instead of taking it 3 times a day, take it twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
And the first 2 days where I was taking it, I could feel it because I was itching, and I was a little bit like, because I got a little bit wheezy, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do this. Now it's not bothering me at all.
Wow.
It's like it might as well not be there. Like, it's not a problem.
And this
Whereas before, I have been on a plane and someone opened an orange and I had to take medication because my breathing became a problem.
Have you got a pen as well? You got a pen? And this is yes. And this is the key.
I've got an EpiPen. I had to carry an EpiPen, an inhaler, and steroid.
Wow. And all this because you were maintaining your body in that state of disorder for all those years, and all the stuff you were taking was not dealing with the disorder. It was only ever dealing with the symptoms. It was just on the surface. Nothing was getting to the root. So you've had 10 years of pain, that you've had 10 days of making the relevant lifestyle changes, doing the HERN protocol, and it's brought you into 0 pain in 10 days. That's almost 1 year of pain. Every day was eliminated 1 year of pain and damage. And that's how quickly... Less than. I was pain-free by day 7.
That's how by day 7.
The body comes back into order once it's got the right environment, once the disorders are addressed and order is restored. This is how quickly all those symptoms start to disappear by themselves, which is, again, is amazing, because where we look at, things like chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, lupus, these are actually terms that they use when they don't know what's wrong with you, when they haven't actually got a defined course of treatment that you can follow that is going to lead to any kind of end result, where you can say, right, this is controlled, this level of pain, or this is controlled, this level of inflammation. There is no defined treatment. So when they, prescribe or define or diagnose conditions, and they use names such as fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, lupus, this just means your body has so many levels of disorder on so many different planes. They can't treat you, basically. There's nothing they can do. We look at those conditions, as I said, from a different perspective, as in we've identified the levels of disorder, which I said you had quite a lot, and we've started to address those disorders, restoring order. As you said, 10 days, you've had 10 years of disorder wiped out. And it's not to say you're at the end, you still got a long way to go, but you can just see how quickly the body comes back into order, symptoms start to disappear once you've made the right changes in the right places. So thank you so much for that, Mendy. It's a really, really powerful testimony. I didn't realize that you had so many results and so many changes on such, wide ranging fronts. So again, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Fibromyalgia was suffering with fibromyalgia and believe that this is their lot, this is their portion. They're going to be suffering with this for the next 10 years. There is things you can do. There are natural things you can do that can really help to impact that situation, and very positively, and more importantly, very quickly. So thank you again, once again, for that. Janice.
Can you hear me now?
Hey, finally.
Okay, I've had to switch computer. I'm in the office, so I've had to use the office computer.
Okay, fantastic. Quickly share your story with us, Janice, just so we can move on, because obviously we had a quickly take some questions. A deep one. If you just give us the with the main elements, all the juicy bits, shall I say, because you've been through quite a lot.
Yeah, in 2018, I had a brain tumor, which was removed in October 2018. The following year, I got cancer of my womb. So again, all my womb and everything was removed. And in October the same year, I had gallbladder removed. And then I think I rang you when I was going to have the gallbladder operation, and you were saying, no, come along, don't have it. I thought, I'm quite skeptical about a lot of things. So to me, I'm like, if it sounds too good to be true, it's probably because it is too good to be true. So after I had those operations, I also had diabetes, high blood pressure. So I was on metformin, the blood pressure tablets. I was on statin for cholesterol. And I was also on thyroxine because I had an underactive thyroid. So if that wasn't enough to be getting on with, I developed arthritis in my wrist and I couldn't move my wrist very much. So they sent me to the rheumatologist, who gave me a course of medication, which completely damaged my liver. And it was at that point I thought enough was enough. And I contacted you. And I thought, well, what have I got to lose? You know, I didn't think it would have been as effective. I mean, a friend of mine, Anthony Brightly, told me about you a couple of years ago, and I always said I was going to contact you, but I never did, because you just get on and you take the medications the doctor's given you, knowing it wasn't going to help. But like you said, it was just feeding or masking the symptoms, but not doing anything else. So when I came to see you, I was quite overweight, not very happy about my illnesses. And as you remember, on the first meeting, you shocked me by telling me of all the parasites that I had in my body, which was killing me. And I knew I wasn't well because I also had diabetic colitis disease to add to the list of things that I had. And all the symptoms that came with it. So I was a very unhealthy, unhappy person. And I agreed to do the 3-stage program with you. And, you know, David said that he saw the symptoms change after 10 days. And it's absolutely true. When I start taking all of these drinks that you were giving me, I mean, I struggled with all the water I had to drink because I don't like water. I never did before, and I would only drink it if I'm forced to. But when I saw the effect that it had on me, it was amazing. I mean, I lost weight sort of immediately, which was a really good spur on for me. But health-wise, I mean, I have to go back to the hospital for well, not for treatment, because I had the cancer of the womb, I have to have a 3-monthly checkup. The last checkup I had last month, my doctor was amazed. He said, completely clear, no cancer at all, nothing. And because of the medication they gave me, I had to have blood tests to see if the damage to my liver was mended. And again, the doctors were amazed that after just, 10 days on your treatment, my liver was back to normal, even better. And so many things that have changed for me. I'm no longer taking any medication whatsoever. I'm not taking statins, I'm not taking metformin, I'm not taking my blood pressure tablets or my other medication. I saw my doctor last week because you have to have a diabetes checkup. And she was shocked because I lost like 1.5 stones within that time. And the diabetic nurse was amazed at the fact that my diabetic level was 4.6. My blood pressure was textbook perfect. I'm not, and I've told them I'm not taking any medication. I'm sorry, I'm not giving you a chance to kill me with the medication you're giving me. And they agreed that I actually don't need anything and to keep on doing what I'm doing. So yeah, kudos to you, Erin. I'm so grateful. And to me, it's not a diet. To me, it's a whole lifestyle change. I've been brainwashed into thinking health now, rather than, as my husband used to say, shoveling food in your mouth and not thinking about the consequences. Because I remember you said to me, I have an expensive lifestyle because I'd like sushi and caviar and all that stuff. Well, now I see the effect of what I'm eating and what it does to my body. I can't even imagine putting any pork or anything like that in my mouth. The thought just makes me sick. So I'm gone vegan.
Wow.
I'm healthy, and my husband's on this trip as well. He's dealing with that, and Sonia, my sister-in-law, and my sister Lorna, who's also listening on Zoom, she'll be joining it and signing up in January. So yeah, and everybody I tell, I keep saying this is amazing, because people has actually seen the change in me. Yes. I was at court last week for a case, and some of the sisters were saying, oh my God, Janice, is that you? I'm sorry, we didn't recognize you. You're so small. You've lost so much weight. And do you know what? The weight thing was important, but my health, getting my health back was more important to me. And so just losing weight is an added bonus with that. So all the clothes I couldn't fit in, I can now fit. I can even fit into my wedding dress. Wow. So that shows you, I'm a happy bunny now. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, no more medication.
And Janice, just quickly, what made you decide to stop taking all your medication?
I knew it was killing me. I don't believe anything these doctors say, and I knew it was just masking what was wrong with me. My father had type 1 diabetes, and he died of renal failure. He also had glaucoma because it affected his eye. My mother died of colon cancer, and I had a lot of polyps because, you know, and I listened to the doctors when they said, oh, these things are hereditary and all that. But I heard what you said. It's because we adapted the same lifestyle of our parents that we have the same illnesses of them. And I thought, no, I'm breaking that generational curse. I'm not bringing it on to me. I refuse to accept that. And, you know, thank God I don't have to. And, you know, I'm teaching my children that. One of my daughter who's with me at the moment saying, you know, I'm going to do the same thing as you, Mum, and go down that lifestyle. And I thought, I don't need my children having cancer and all of these foolish illnesses in their 20s, 30s and 40s. If I don't do the changes, they're not going to. So it's a matter of just breaking that generational curse that our parents who didn't know better have put onto us, and just complete lifestyle change. And I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm slim. I can fit into all the clothes I couldn't before. So wow. Yeah, I'm happy.
Amazing. Yeah. And you look fantastic, Janice, by the way.
Thank you.
You're absolutely glowing. Wow.
I dropped 3 dress sizes. For the women out there, they'll know I was pushing a size 18.
Wow.
And I'm now a size 12. So I could put on clothes. I could wear my children's clothes. This is Jackie's jacket. I'm wearing my children's clothes. I go in their wardrobe like, girl, what you got in here?
Wow.
So, you know, I really would encourage, and I can't endorse enough, that what you said is absolutely true. It really does work. So I'm no longer a skeptic.
Thank you. So I'm glad another one you can join our team of ambassadors. So thank you.
Definitely.
And you've been a real ambassador to a lot of people around you, and a beacon of light and hope.
Yeah.
So that, you know, you've encountered your newfound wellness.
The doctors are amazed, and you know, even they're saying just continue doing what you're doing, because they know that the medicines they're giving you are not helping you. And you know, it's nice when a doctor actually say, just keep on doing. Health-wise, that's the way to go. So, you know, kudos to them.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Janice. I mean, I really wanted to get you on because I know you're your story is really powerful because you've been through so much and you've had such a turbulent, you know, probably 10 or 12 years.
Oh, it was awful. The last 2 years, what was awful. Like every time I had a revolving door in the hospital. There's one illness I got over, the brain tumor, that was awful. Then they're telling me I've got cancer and I'm like, what? What's going on? And then after that, it's something else. So I just thought, I'm not receiving this. No, I'm not receiving it.
No.
Sorry.
And you didn't, and you've been so aggressively moving away from all that history, that whole, you know, lifestyle of
it is.
And sustaining disease, which is fabulous.
And it's amazing. You don't need to eat the things. You don't need to eat steak my husband, well, he'll learn. He's actually on the program, so you know how I think.
Yes.
But you know, even he's had a lifestyle change because he's seen the effects on himself.
Yes.
And it's because I said to him, look, you know, I'd like to see my children grow up, and you know, I'm not going to do it if I keep eating and living the life that I was.
Yes.
It's just not going to happen, and I know that. So yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Now, we're kind of out of time. I really wanted to get Janice on because, like I said, her story is really powerful and it's very encouraging for a lot of people to hear, especially how far she's been coming from. I'm going to quickly see if you have take any questions. I know some people are typing some questions in the chat. If anybody has any questions before we wrap up, do feel free to, unmute yourself and ask. You've got obviously access to the people that are on that have given their testimonials. They're here, open for you to ask questions. They will answer gladly as well. But just to reiterate, all of the things that they were able to achieve, they were able to achieve them using the HERN protocol and just making the relevant lifestyle changes, which was key. There was no medication involved. There was everything they did was all natural, based on getting rid of the old habits and replace them with new habits, but they're also incorporating the relevant products, which are all food-based products that we use to really restore order and nourish the body from the inside out. Now, somebody was asking, where do we find the program, the Step 1? It's called the Step 1 program. It's a 21-day program, 21-day lifestyle change, a detox and lifestyle change. You'll see it on our website, which is vivonutrients.com. 21-day program, and you'll also see it on our website, gojuicedetox.com, and you click on shop. Go Juice Detox, that's 3 words, gojuicedetox.com, click on shop. If you want to see any other testimonials, just head over to our YouTube channel, which is at Vivo Nutrients, that's V-I-V-O, the Nutrients. Vivo Nutrients, be sure to like any video that you see and subscribe, but more importantly, take in the information that is available on there, because it's really key that you get hold of the information, because as I said, you can never have more health, or your health can never exceed your knowledge of health, because a lot of people are preying on our ignorance. The less we know is the more they can, force us to do things that we wouldn't normally do, and follow a lifestyle of taking, pills or whatever we take that we don't necessarily have to take for addressing any of our underlying situations. So the more knowledge, the more you can empower yourself with the relevant knowledge and the relevant tools, is the more you'll be able to take charge of your health, or the more able you'll be to take charge of your health and to navigate yourself, especially through this period that we're in currently, where we're facing a global pandemic, so to speak. So if you have any questions, if you don't have any, let me see if you have any questions. I'm going to try and get into the chat. If anybody has any questions, now's
I have a question.
those questions. Go ahead.
Sorry, it's not so much. I missed the majority of this program. Sorry, I just wanted to ask if it's possible to have a replay of the whole training, because I missed it. I was out. I only just got the lady's testimony just now.
Okay, no problem. If you head over to our YouTube, make sure you subscribe on our YouTube, Vivo Nutrients. Vivo
Okay.
You'll be able to get access to it if it gets uploaded there. Sometimes it may be uploaded, sometimes we put it on our other platform. We have a Telegram platform, if you're familiar with Telegram. If you want our Telegram platform, we are called the Healing Rooms on Telegram. If you go on Telegram, Telegram is a little bit like WhatsApp, but it's a lot better. You can have up to you know, thousands of people in one group, but we only have about a couple hundred, which keeps it nice and manageable. We don't post stuff all day. It's only purely dedicated to health and provide uplifting and empowering information to the members. It's called.
What is it called? You said Telegram?
Yeah, on Telegram. If you download Telegram Messenger, go to your app store and download Telegram Messenger. You'll not like you join up for WhatsApp, but it's much better than WhatsApp. A lot more organized, a lot more structured. And when you join, you'll be able to see some of the historic messages that have been posted, testimonials, videos, etc., recipes, food, stuff you can use to empower yourself and improve your life. Access to, you know, to natural health products. You've got access, obviously, to our website and, you know, all the things that we do and how people have been impacted and how people's lives have been changed as a result of their, you know, their journey or their interaction with us and with our whole community. So it's Telegram Messenger. You can get it from your App Store or your Google Store or Google Play or your Play Store, depending on what phone you have, iPhone or Android. Download Telegram Messenger, sign up, and then just search for Healing Rooms Cutting Edge Technology. So Healing Rooms Cutting Edge Technology. Search that group, and you may be able to request to join, or you may be able to add yourself, whichever one is available at the time. And one of the admins, sure, they acknowledge you.
Okay, Healing Rooms, Cutting Edge Technology.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions before we move on?
I was going to say, Erin, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
It's Margaret. Well done, Nico. But don't you think it's time that when we've been through your health program and we've done so well, and well done to Janice, because I remember her well and giving her words of encouragement to say what.
Yes.
Don't you think it's time that we actually turn around and told our doctors, so you know what, we have now found a way that we can heal ourselves without you giving us medication that makes us more sicker and you know, making the pharmaceutical companies richer and richer out of people's ailments, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. Don't you think it's time that we started to, you know what I mean, speak out and say, well, I've been taking this, and change the way I eat and so forth, so that we can become recognized for healing ourselves?
It's a very good point, Margaret. It's a very good statement. It's something that, yes, you should be able to do, and we should be able to do that. But because of the way the status quo at the moment, we have to tread a very careful road. We're not medically trained. We're nutritional therapists. We're naturopaths. We're naturopathic practitioners. So we work, as I said, with the body as a complete unit. With allopathic medicine, we don't work with conventional methods. We use nature's finest tools and ingredients to bring about order within the body. We don't treat any conditions. We're not allowed to tell anybody to stop taking their medication. We always advocate that people have been prescribed medication by their GP to follow that advice. However, if you as the individual has seen or derived results from the relevant changes that you've made, from the program that you followed or observed, like Janice did, like David did, like Nico did, you are more than welcome to go back to your GP and let them see the results. In fact, let them give you the test, let them do the test and see that, hang on a minute, your blood sugar or your diet or whatever your condition was has made a significant improvement to the point where they themselves will make the decision to say you no longer need to take that medication. But if you were to go and tell them that I don't need to take my medication, they may well say that you've self-discharged yourself from a recommended course of action, and may well discharge. I don't know. They may discharge from the clinic, but I agree with what you're saying. But I would just advise caution in doing that and making sure that you do it based on your results. These are my results. These are the medications I've been taking for the X amount of years. I've not seen any results when I was doing that, but I've been doing this for X amount of time. These are my results. In fact, you test me and you look and see, based on my results, do I still need to take the medication or not? That way, a win-win.
Yeah.
What I want to do is create a challenging situation where if people feel that you're stepping on their toes, or you're trying to be seen as controversial, so to speak, especially with your GP, who's supposed to be your primary health provider. But no, you're absolutely right. They be able to do that, but the system doesn't permit that. They almost prey on people's ignorance in the fact that you haven't got the knowledge of your health, you haven't got the tools to take your health in your own hands, and you're not even really encouraged to do that. But the fact that you've embarked on this journey, the program, the tools, the community, you're right. I think, yes, you definitely should. Have you been to your GP so far?
You know what? I haven't been to my GP at all. Since I did the program, the detox program, I haven't been to my GP. What I've done at home was kind of test my own blood pressure, see how my blood pressure was doing and so forth, and that had kind of come down. And I just stopped taking my blood pressure tablets. But I think the reason probably why I said that is because anybody that's done the program and they've seen the changes once they've gone through the program and completed the program, and their health is a lot better. For those that do go back to the doctors, I think this is probably what I should have said. And the doctors said, oh, whatever you've been doing,
Yes.
your health has improved, this, that, and the other, you don't need to take that. Well, and when the doctor say to you, well, what have you been doing? For me, that's the time to be promoting our healthy change that we've made in our lives with the products that we've been taking. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's not, I suppose, because I look at it in terms of us as a people, we've always been pushed to the back.
Yes.
And I just believe now that we're coming forward, we need to celebrate that forwardness. Once we've been through the health program, our bodies have changed, our health has changed, and you've gone back, and then the doctor turns around and says to you, what have you been doing? Or the nurses, what have you been doing for this massive change? Your health has become a lot better. This is when I just believe that we should be pushing ourselves to the forefront. Make them know, so watch out. It's not every time that you prescribe us these tablets and that it's doing anything for us. In one sense, it's making us sicker. You know what I mean? And then maybe, hopefully, the way you do your thing through the natural way, natural process, natural products, may then, doctors will maybe then think, can begin to really look at it as another way of healing somebody instead of always going for the prescription pad and writing your prescription for this tablet or that to take and blah, blah, etc. Because for me, this is something that they should be working on par with, you know what I mean? And maybe trying first and foremost before you start applying out tablets because of the pharmaceutical companies. Do you know what I mean? That's just my angst now because, and I just think, gosh,
No,
I'll stop now.
Indeed. No, indeed. Thank you so much, Margaret. I definitely feel your passion. No, you're 100% right. It is that time. It's time for a change. But this is why we encourage you as ambassadors. Share the video when you get the video. Join the YouTube, subscribe to the channel, join the Telegram. Well, you're in the Telegram group already. And let people be aware that there are alternatives. There are ways that they can approach and achieve higher levels of health. Okay. Other quick questions. I know Peter's got.
Erin, can I just make a mention?
Go ahead.
My name's Arlene, and I've had MS now for 8 years, and I cannot walk unaided now, so I always have to walk with a stick. And I've been vegetarian for like 30 odd years. I've been vegan for like 7 years now. And I just need to know what else I can do to just improve my health. And I was going to say, is there any way I could come to see you, but I can't because I can't get there. So I don't know if you do anything online or something.
Yeah, we do. We are going to start doing online consultations. Where are you based, Arlene?
I'm in Kent.
Oh, that's not too far. That's not too far. You're in the M25. Yes.
Okay.
There's a lot we can do with MS. We have had some good success with MS.
Oh, fantastic.
And the neuropathy, and obviously the myelitis with the myelin sheath. But we have got some really good technology as well. We've got some a lot of patches that we use that's to do with stem cell technology. Very active stem cells that really help to we've seen some amazing results. We also, you may have heard of the VoxOx.
No, I haven't.
Again, this is neurotechnology. This helps to improve homeostasis within the brain, which then improves neuromuscular function. So where you have issues with your brain sending signals to your limbs and your organs, and them not, or you're not be able to coordinate through your peripheral nervous system, there's lots of interventions that are available that we have access to, that we can make available to you to really significantly improve your health. So do get in touch.
How do I get in touch with you?
Okay, you can message us via the website. We've got the 2 websites. You've got the Go Juice Detox website. Go Juice Detox.
Sorry, say that slower.
You've got the 2 websites. You've got gojuicedetox.com.
Go Juice Detox. Okay.
.com. We have a form online that you can submit the form. You can submit your biggest health concern, and one of our practitioners will get back to you. Generally within 24 hours or 48 hours.
Okay.
GoJuiceDetox.com, and we've got the same thing available on vivonutrients.com as well. You go to the website, just click on the part where it says contact us, or your biggest health concern, whatever your health concern is, you can just submit it there, and one of our practitioners will get back to you. And just put your name, say you're on the Healing Rooms call, and try and join Telegram as well. Join our YouTube so you get access to all our videos. Join us on Telegram so you can be part of the community, and you have to access this information firsthand. And we'll definitely, see what we can do to help your situation.
Brilliant. That would be excellent. Thank you. I will definitely get in touch with you ASAP.
Looking forward to.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Go ahead. Okay, Peter, I know we're caught on time. I know what I did tell you to get you on and you to
No, that's cool. I tell you what, that's cool, because I tell you what, I've had so many Zoom invites, come in and chat. This is the first one I've ever done and been involved in. So it was nice to sit back and take it all in and just observe, even getting LinkedIn and on the screens. I've been there messing about, so I've only just really got into it.
The hang of it. Quick, give us a quick 1 minute of your journey.
Well, yeah, my journey again was suffering with arthritis, pains, back pain, sciatica. My inflammation in my body was of a very, very high level. This is going back about 18 months now, 2 years. And ever since I got in touch, like I say, with the Go Juice, I think I've got a testimony up already. I was feeling the effects of what I was taking within 12 hours, 24 hours, 72 hours. I was feeling, boy, if this continues, I'm going to be like Superman, And believe me, it's been a path. It isn't easy, mind you, but obviously for me, when I first got onto it, you see that 6 weeks, 8 weeks, it's like, because your whole system is all drive, you want this wellness, And I was on such a high, it's just unbelievable, But again, you have to live in this society, in this system, isn't it, So you get things come along that can always be drawing you back, knocking you back, but also spiritually, you learn how to deal with that, which is also part of all of your well-being and your healing as well, Because sometimes you can take all the medicines you can, but if you're not connecting with it, with your internal as well, it can be harder. But all I can say, it's 100% a healing process for me. Continue with the diets, the foods, everything is what some battles a bit hard on that, but I've never really been a meat eater. I stopped eating meat a good years now. I'm still a fish eater, but still it's how you produce your fish. Reduced on the big time, more on the steaming of the fish and, having it that way. And if it is fried, it's fried with pure oils, vegetable oil, let it drain off, don't saturate or anything like that, So diet-wise, vegetation, been eating it in abundance, And you go through stages as well, but when I'm more on the 80-90% of everything, where it puts you. You may have a little drop down by 10-20%. You feel it well when you miss it. So it's all about engaging and keeping on top of it, and also continuing it as much as you can,
Fantastic.
It's definitely the way forward for me.
You're so right. You're so right, Peter. Like I said, you were another very good example of somebody who really took to the program, ran with it, saw the results, you made the changes, and you got the results. As I said, full hats off to you for your effort and perseverance, because as I said, it wasn't easy, but you were able to overcome the challenges and achieve your goal, which was having a pain-free lifestyle going forward. So thank you so much. We're going to cover more on arthritis next week.
Sure, I'll be there with you, mate. I'll be there.
Fantastic. It'll be the same time, it'll be 2 o'clock, where we go more deep into arthritis. the cause of arthritis, back pain, sciatica, the foods that are linked to that, and obviously the solution of how you're able to eliminate those pains, again, in under 21 days, and the relevant tools and support mechanisms that are available to make sure that once you do get rid of the pain, you stay pain-free of your life, pretty much, unless you really, start to really damage your health through, through some wrong lifestyle choices. So I think that brings us to the end of our webinar for today. All that's left to thank all those that joined. Thank you to all that came and spent your Sunday afternoon with us. You could have been so many other places. You could have been sitting down doing your rice and peas or whatever you do on a Sunday. But you took time to spend with us, so I'm really grateful and thank you so much for that. Just remind you that the video will be uploaded onto our YouTube platform. Again, it'll be first made available on our Telegram page, which is on Healing Rooms, which is Healing Rooms. Secondly, you'll be able to find it at Vivo Nutrients on YouTube. And then we also have our podcast, which will be launching this week. I don't know if you get the audio or you get the audio and the visual as well, but that's going to be available on podcast. But we ask you to subscribe when you join the YouTube channel, and also share the video, share it with other people so that people be aware that this is where we are, this is what we do, and this is what's available for you and your loved ones. There is an alternative. You haven't got to suffer in silence. There is another way that you can achieve freedom through well-being. So thank you so much, Peter. Thank you so much, Janice. Thank you so much, Nico. Thank you so much, Sonia. I know we didn't get to get you on, Sonia, but definitely next week. Thank you again, Mendisa. Helen, I know we meant to get you on as well, Helen. Thank you to everyone that's contributed to today and to really help empower people. That's what we're all about. And we look forward to joining you again next week. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Some of the messages, quite a lot of messages there. Oh, wow.